Hey everyone, Ashley Jean here with Moonsoul Magic. I'm back to do an unboxing for you. I just recently got this deck, the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork is by Danielle Noel. I have the other deck, I believe, that Rebecca Campbell came up with, and I can't remember if it's the Light Seer or there's something. That name is going to escape me. I'll have to link both of them below when I post this. But I had decided I really loved that deck because it was so accurate. Every time I would pull it or ask a question, I was just kind of startled by how on point it was and how it would give me such accurate direction or just really bring clarity to exactly where I was in my life. So when I saw this deck, I knew at some point I was going to procure it, but I also just, I have so many decks and I was like, I don't need another deck. But then I saw an image on Instagram a couple weeks ago that was gorgeous, the colors of the deck, and it just drew me in. I'm like, okay, I need this deck, especially since the other one has become a real mainstay in my work. So I figured, okay, go ahead and get this one too. I'm very enchanted by the box. As you can see, it's got a very interesting box with the cover opening like that. So I found that curious. I have not looked at this at all. I thought I would save it and look at it with all of you. The only thing I did was take off the plastic because I really felt that would be awkward trying to remove the plastic on camera. I might resort to using my teeth or some other like unwanted sort of behavior. So all I did was remove the plastic, but I have not looked at it or opened it at all. So, but yes, I'm very enchanted by this box. It's very cool. It's very unique. And I love it. It says, your heart is a portal. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's pretty neat. So yeah, just a gorgeous box. Look at the back here with the way it in the front. That is so neat. It's almost like this like crystal spire, right? That's very, very cool. So, okay. And then the other side of the box says the same thing. So both of them say your heart is a portal. So that's kind of neat. Kind of wish they said something different, but each one. So just your standard paper wrapper for the deck. Oh, and here's that book. Look at that first here. Pretty chunky little book for coming with a deck. I always feel like her books say exactly what they need to, and they're not too verbose. Like if you have any Alana Fairchild decks, I like those, but I can find them so intense. There's so much to read, so it's like a real, like, you need to have time and space for those decks. Whereas this one is wonderful if you're looking for, some direction really quickly. The text isn't too much for each card. It's about maybe a page and a half for each one. Kind of see that. And it looks like she has a nice little introduction here. So welcome to the Starseed Oracle. It says the Starseed Oracle is for starseeds. Souls will have a longing for all that is mysterious and unknown. A starseed is an old soul, someone whose soul has experienced places other than Earth. So she goes on for about 3 pages there, and then she goes on into ancient star origins, so that's kind of neat. And then what is a star seed? And then it looks like it begins with Starseed Oracle attunement, so that's kind of neat. You can attune your deck. And then a little brief blurb, looks like a couple of pages here on reading for yourself and others. So that's nice, just kind of how to select cards and how to shuffle and connect if you were needing some guidance on that. So very nice little book that comes with the deck. All right, then the part you always want to get to, the deck. But let's see, let's go ahead and remove the paper thing here. And the back is really beautiful. I think that's what caught me. The colors almost seem to be lit from within. Like even from this back here, I can see that. It's just like it has a light of its own. I don't know how that was achieved, but it is gorgeous. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick flip through and kind of give my feelings. So far, I just love them. They're very beautiful. Look at this one. Wow. Cardstock is nice. It's very thick, actually. I don't tend to riffle shuffle just because I feel like it can be harder on my decks. And I don't exactly have small hands, but I played piano for a number of years, piano and flute, and I kind of hurt my hands over time. So I just tend to be more comfortable just hand over hand shuffling. So these seem like they'll be very, very easy to work with, though, if you wanted to shuffle. They're thick, but they're not too thick, so they're be very easy to work with. But these are just gorgeous. Look at that. It looks like a portal. It's so beautiful. I feel like even as good as the book is, it would be very easy to be intuitive with these images too, because there's just like you almost feel them. Like you can feel in this one just almost the surrender feeling, like she's kind of falling back into the cosmos. So that's kind of neat. I love it when I feel I don't have to use a guidebook, or it can bring new understanding, or just help me work with my intuition without having to crack open the guidebook. I have a few decks, it feels like it's impossible to work with them without the guidebook. So I love it when a deck just evokes, the colors and the feelings that are just the facial expressions. There's so much here that it seems like it would be easy to read. Just love that. Lots of texture. Aren't the colors just gorgeous? I mean, they really do look like each card has its own light. Just very, very beautiful. I don't know how much of Danielle Noel's work, she did the Star Child Tarot and the Moon Child. So there's definitely similar elements. These feel more akin to the Star Child Tarot to me, but her artwork has definitely evolved. This is not like Star Child in any way, but some of the color is similar. But I find it's vibrant although still being very pastel-y, so very pretty. Just a lovely deck. And the cards are typical Oracle size. You can kind of see, I don't have a typical tarot card to compare. That's a beautiful one. But yeah, they're just standard Oracle size. They're not terribly big. Probably along the size of if you have Colette Baron-Reid's decks. They're kind of similar in size to that. Wow. Yeah, but the picture I saw, I had probably 9 or 10 of them in a pattern, and just the way they looked all together. I mean, you could just feel the energy, the light just kind of pouring out of these cards. They're really aptly, named with the Starseed. It's just, you can just feel the light inside of them. They're very, very beautiful. So I definitely know I'm going to enjoy working with this deck. It is gorgeous. I also like how there just seems like a lot of cards with almost portals and openings. So I read something a while back that it's not so hard to find a portal or to find a place to pass through, but it's having the courage to pass through it. I thought that was interesting. So I kind of feel that as I'm looking through these cards, it's like it may help define the portals that we access in our life more clearly so that we can know, we can step through and know exactly how to step through or what we're actually encountering. This is a beautiful one. It's very different than the rest of them. All the rest of them had this really pastel-y light, and then we've got a darker one here. It says perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, these are very lovely. And that's what I found with her other deck too, that it would help me kind of define where I was, kind of giving me, it's kind of like, where am I? And having something that says, you are here, it's just so helpful. I love decks like that. They can kind of help me bring clarity to where I am and what situation I'm walking through, kind of define the energies that are present in my life, and then kind of having that clarity allows you to move forward more easily. But that's what I found before with her other deck. Just a lot of clarity comes through with these. And it's interesting because I think the other one is Work Your Light, and then this one is Starseed. So there is a feeling of illumination that comes with her decks. It really brings illumination into your life, as you work with them. And I really appreciate that. We all need more light. I know once I heard somewhere, even just lighting a candle when you're struggling with something, just bringing extra light into your life can really help. So it can be as simple as intentionally lighting a candle or turning on a light, follow the light. And that just helps you to know where to go next, what step to take next. Just beautiful. I love this deck. I'm looking forward to working with it. I think I'll go ahead and pull a card for all of you just so we can all experience that first draw together. So we're almost to the end here. I believe there are, I thought there was 54 cards, and I'm not finding it on the box here. Of course not. Once I want to find it, then it's very, very hard to find, right? But I believe, 53. Okay, so very close. 53 cards in the deck. So a nice Oracle deck, because so many Oracle decks are about 44. So having those extra 9 cards, I always love that, you have a lot of cards. Just allows, more insight to come forward or more choices. So All right. I intend that the card that will come forward will help all of us who are listening to this now, and there a card just flipped, so I think it wanted to be the one. So it says baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. So that very important thing of like doing something that doesn't feel real logical or knowledge-based, but just knowing in your heart that you need to do it. And how many of us have had those things where you're like, I feel like I'm supposed to do this, but it doesn't really feel like, or I shouldn't say it doesn't feel, but it just will seem like to your friends or to your, colleagues, like, what are you doing? You're like, no, really, I know I'm supposed to do this. So, and again, I love the portal in this card, right? Like climbing this big cliff here and finding an opening at the top. So it's almost this feeling of, when you've been struggling and there's this hard terrain and you're working through it. But if you stay with that struggle, I think that's kind of a key card too, coming forward on this Pluto-Saturn conjunction that we've just, recently experienced. And we are actually still experiencing it. That energy will be, with us for a week or two here pretty strongly. And even into the next few months, there'll be kind of reverberation effects. But like, I don't know how many of you felt just kind of this, like this weight, this heaviness. And I think I even said something in my last video, like staying with it, staying with that energy and going, what does it want to show me? Staying with the struggle to the unknown, because when you are willing to stay with that struggle and really dig into it, instead of trying to shift it and get rid of it as quick as you can, if you can stay with it and ask your guides, what am I learning here? What do I need to see? Something really profound can come through in that. And that's what I'm feeling in this card, that the portal can open up and just show you something, some sort of clarity that you hadn't experienced before. Just to get a sense, let's look at the book. And hopefully it is alphabetized. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you. I think there's one deck I have. I don't know if it's like it's a Divine Goddess deck. And they are in no alphabetical form whatsoever. And it's so hard to find anything. Oh, all right. So I'll just read the book here. You can see it's, again, just a page and a half here. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. You're being called to take grounded action in response to your soul's calling, to start where you are and begin building in a consistent way. So many people stop themselves from living a soul-led life because they're waiting to know the destination before taking the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. Our soul is always calling us every moment of every day. The way to find yourself living in harmony with the cosmos is to listen to your soul's baby calls and whisper each and every day, and to take grounded action in the direction of those calls and whispers. You're being encouraged to start small, bite-sized, to put one foot in front of the other, to do one thing every day, to break down things into achievable tasks. Time on Earth goes slower than on other planets. This may cause frustration for star seeds, who can expect faster pace of manifestation and thus give up before the seeds begin to sprout. If you resonate with that, it's time to opt for consistency over urgency. Take time for baby steps in the direction of your calling. Remember that you don't need to have it all figured out or know exactly where the path is leading you. You don't have to know every single step along the way before you set out on your great journey. You just need to take the next step. And the Starseed Soul Inquiry at the end of this little portion here, it says, what one simple baby step can you take in the direction of your soul's calling? It's funny because I just had a conversation with one of my friends the other day. Like, intuition does not have a 5-year plan. It's going to look a little zigzaggy here as you follow, It's not a straight path. It's not creating this 5-10-year plan and having the perfect setup, It's just following those little nudges. And it can be as simple as like, I feel like I'm supposed to take a walk, or I'm supposed to take a nap. I had it actually a funny thing. Like, I really felt like I was supposed to go to Target. I'm like, okay. And I did need to look at pillows. So I'm like, I'll go to Target. So I go to Target and like thinking that Target could be an intuitive hit, but it was. And I went to Target and I met a lady who had a son with Down syndrome, and we just totally connected. And it was such a friendship, made in the stars. So I love that, you just follow something as simple as like, I feel like I'm supposed to go to this store today, or I'm supposed to do this, and look where it led me, into a brand new friendship and a connection. So anyway, lots of love, dear souls, and many blessings. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. I think this is a great deck, and I think it's something that if you are interested in getting would serve you very well. So much love, many blessings.